I'm glad he lost, but like, he made millions of dollars. Who fucking cares? He didn't lose.
You think John Jones is coming back and doing his thing? Can he beat Ciryl Gane?
I don't know what you just said.
No.
John Jones, the UFC fighter?
Yeah.
Oh, I
He's
thought
talking
you
about
followed MMA. Shit.
I sort of do, but not really. Like, I like to watch the good fights on Saturdays if they have.
Long story short, John Jones, the undefeated 205-pound champion of the world, who's been so since 19 years old. If you allow sometimes for him to go to jail, get suspended for drugs, steroids, or just be stripped of the belt for beating women or whatever he may have done at the time. He's never been defeated. No one's ever taken that belt off his
Only
hands.
by the law.
He always came back and took it back from whoever they had handed it to in his absence. Anyway, he spent the last 3 years, I think, bulking for the heavyweight division. And now he's back to take on Ciryl Gane for the heavyweight title of the world.
Oh, that's Saturday.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal. He does. I looked at his physique. He looks floofy.
Did you see the webpage where you could do a slider of it going back and forth?
I was just saying that I'm on 2012 looking at his UFC light heavyweight main event like 11 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this man's been fighting for so long.
Since he was 19.
I could find it.
2009 co-main event UFC TUF 10. So right before UFC 100. So that's pretty. Man's old.
No, he just started so early.
He was one of the youngest champs ever.
He's still like, what is he, 30, 38? 37?
Is that not considered on the upper scale of what you should MMM? Like, what is who's the oldest, most consistent best fighter? Like, is there like who him?
It's hard to pick anyone but John Jones.
Nice.
So he's at an 84-inch reach, which is the longest reach in the UFC. Yeah, look at that. Wow.
Quote, gained a whole bunch of ass. Jones expects fans to be surprised with.
Dude, he got taller.
Yeah, I know it's not perfect, but like this might be the exact site I was talking about. Thank you, Zach. I was looking for it too. Slide it back and forth a bunch so you can like see it come and go. I'm not seeing a lot of added muscle.
I bet he added a lot of muscle.
I think that fat is supporting a lot of extra muscle. Like that's the thing. Like if he cut that fat off, you lose a bunch of the muscle. There's a ratio, like for every pound of fat, there's like
thank you, Zach,
a certain amount of ounces of muscle you're going to lose too. I bet he's so much stronger. The question is going to be, I think Ciryl Gane's a better striker than John Jones. So the question is going to be if John Jones can still fucking wrestle, and we're going to find out in the first round. I think if John shoots and gets him up against the fence, and then he's able to work with his elbows and knees like he does. He throws those knees from the clinch.
Why couldn't he do that now? Just because he's older?
He's older and against the heavyweight. And we haven't seen John use his wrestling in a long time. And so I think he'll need to employ it against a better striker, which I think Ciryl Gane is. Probably a faster guy, maybe even. But I think John, if he shoots and he can at least get him against the fence, maybe if he doesn't get him down, that spells great stuff for John. But if Ciryl just shakes him off and continues to piece him up, get inside and get dirty with him, I don't know. But I've never seen John Jones lose a fight. I think he's going to win this fight, and I think Ciryl Gane is going to bleed.
I think Jones loses, and I'm willing to put $5 on it.
Done!
All right. It's been a long time since we've seen John Jones fight. And it's been a longer time since we've seen him fight well. I want to say
even longer since we've seen him lose because
I want to say 2 out of his last 3 fights, the media and the audience thought he lost.
Haters.
The judges gave it to him anyway.
Yeah,
he lost against
3 out of 4 pregnant white women agree. John Jones lost his last 2 fights.
John Jones has been looking worse and worse.
He crippled one.
John Jones has been looking worse and worse in his fights, and he hasn't fought since 2020? I don't know when he lost last.
It's been
fight.
3 years since.
I think he loses.
Is it not? Is the UFC not? When you leave the NFL for a season or two, it becomes an incredibly a very high talking point of can you compete at the physical and mental level? Did you keep your body in that shape during that gap? Because you can have all the time and money, but if you're not going through the active training regimen to be in peak condition, you lose some of that ability and your capacity goes down as you get older. I'm guessing.
I can't think of anyone.
Conor McGregor came back after 2 years, smoked the ghost, as you like to say, of Cowboy Cerrone, broke his nose, kicked his face, knocked him the fuck out. But I think one of the things about UFC fighters, it's not quite like the NFL players. I never see NFL players in their free time on Instagram like throwing the ball and like
you
on
don't
their
follow
own.
the right ones.
No, yeah, but every UFC fighter on their
Right.
Instagram, like, what do you do with your spare time? What are you fucking talking about? I train to kill people with my bare hands in my spare time. That's all I do. Anybody who's at that elite level, top 10 at your weight division, they don't have side hobbies or like they spend their time learning to kill people with their bare hands. So they don't really like
John
Jones, for example.
fighter who took
if
a
you
couple
follow
years
him,
off and came back okay.
all John Jones does is lift weights and learn to fight.